Hello
Okay.
everyone, we have Sachin here, who's gotten placed in Amazon. And first of all, congratulations, Sachin.
Thank
Amazon
you,
is like
sir.
a dream company for most of us.
Yeah, sir.
Sachin is also from VIT Vellore, and it is my alma mater. I graduated many years ago. So again, Sachin, it's very nice to speak to my fellow alumni as well.
Thank you,
Right.
sir. Same here.
Perfect. So, Sachin was just talking about how he referred videos for patterns and all of that. So let's not talk about it again. I assume that most of the people who would be watching would be using prep and stuff for, most of these use cases.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Even I always refer it for like getting known the test pattern of the companies and
thank
any
you.
updates about the companies.
Okay. So again, we were just speaking earlier. There are two, three different ways on how Amazon hire. So one is generally via AMCAT, wherein there are
Yes,
two coding questions. The package, it depends upon college to college. That
yes,
is
sir.
basically for the software engineering role. However,
Yes, sir.
sometimes what we have also seen is in some colleges rather than using AMCAT, they also use HackerRank as well, right? So again, you need to
Yeah, yes,
prepare.
sir.
You need to, again, for all the other people watching, you need to prepare for basic competitive coding. May it be AMCAT, may it be HackerRank, doesn't matter, right?
Yes,
However,
sir.
in his case, there were three different roles, which is different from the software engineering role. Can you tell us more about the roles, Sachin?
Yes, sir. There were three roles for data engineer, second one for quality assurance, and third one for support engineer.
Can you tell us the packages for all the three also?
Yes, sir. 28 lakh per annum for data engineer and around 22 for quality assurance and 20 lakh for support engineer.
Okay, perfect. So also for the software engineering role, the package is, almost the same. It's 27 LPA, 30
Yeah, yes, sir.
LPA,
27 to
and all
30.
of
Yeah.
that as well. But then again,
Yes,
that
sir.
software engineering role generally happens in June and July. This kind of roles
Yeah, yeah,
happen
sir.
generally later, right?
Yes, sir.
So Sachin, I guess the test platform for you was on Metal.
Yeah, yes, sir. It was
Right.
on Meta.
Can you tell us about the different sections that were there in terms of number of
Yes, sir.
questions
I'll
and all?
walk you through the coding round. So it had seven sections. First section was hands-on programming. It had a DSA question. Second one was operating system. Third one was like networking. Fourth one was on testing. Fifth one was on database and SQL. And and two more rounds I
Maybe
don't remember.
maybe one of them was on C++ object oriented
No, sir.
programming.
One was on DSA MCQs.
Okay. The one, so
Uh,
basically out of seven you remember six.
yeah, yes,
One
sir.
you don't remember.
As it's been 25 days, so I don't remember.
No issues, no issues. We'll figure that out and probably we'll put it as a pop-up on this particular video.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So in the hands-on programming section, how many questions were there?
Only one question, sir.
One coding
It
question.
was easy only, yes, sir.
And how much time was there for the coding question?
Sir, there was no sectional time, like only
Overall
2 hours
time.
for, yeah, overall time,
So two
2 hours.
hours, whole test you have to do. You can
Yes,
switch
sir.
between any of the section as you like.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Right. And do you remember the question that was asked from you?
Yeah, yes, sir. I remember the coding question. They gave some postfix expression, and we need to evaluate that and print the calculated value. So it's very like famous question. You can find it on
Yeah, so
geeks
I'm
or
just thinking
anything.
it's a little. You need to check for the edge cases and all of that as well. Postfix, infix, all of these are very standard questions and all of them.
Yeah, yes, sir,
Do
it's
you
very.
do you remember how many questions for each? Let's say how many questions in computer networks, how many questions in testing,
Sir,
how
10 to 15 only. Every section at 10 to 15 questions.
10 to
Maximum
15.
15 questions.
So
Yes, sir.
let's say six sections. So approximately 70-80 questions were there.
Yes, sir.
MCQ 70-80 MCQ question approximately, and one coding question. Total time is
Yes,
120
sir.
minutes.
Yes, sir.
Got it, got it. So again, as you said, you were selected for which profile?
Data engineer.
Data engineer. So how many people? I think because I'm also from VIT, I think approximately 2-3 thousand people would have given
Yes,
the exam. How many
sir, but
people?
only 2,000 people applied for the Amazon, and 60 got shortlisted for the interview round.
Okay. And then there were two interviews, both of them technical.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So let's walk through your the first technical round. It was hosted online on which platform? Microsoft Teams.
Sir, it was on Amazon Shime. They
Amazon
had their own Shemes, they had their own like video
software.
conferencing app.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it, got it.
we had to download that.
Okay, so how long was the first interview for? How much duration?
1 hour, sir, 1 hour.
1 hour. So again, you start. How the interview started? What were the first few questions?
Sir, they started with my introduction, and like I am from EC, so I had only embedded projects. So she asked me about my projects, and then she told me like open a live coding link. She shared me an editor. Then I opened, and she started with SQL questions because I was selected for data engineer role. So she checked my SQL skills. She gave me some complex queries and told me to find the output. She first question was on joins. She gave me two table and told me to apply left join, right join, outer join, every join. And then she herself gave one question and she applied full join and told me to find the output of the full join. So basically, the questions were from SQL. 6 to 7 questions were from SQL. Then she came on my programming skills. She asked one question. I remember she gave me two unsorted array, and I had to sort the both arrays and combine it. So I applied merge sort for it.
Okay, actually, that's a very good thing because a lot of
Yes.
people, what they would do is they would sort one array, then they would sort another array, and then they
Yeah,
would
yes,
join
sir.
it and all. So what she's
Sir,
actually looking for
actually
is
I
the.
told her like
Huh.
I told her, ma'am, I can do it in one line. I can apply tree set interface. You can put every array elements in tree set and it will be in sorted order and the duplicate elements will be removed.
Hmm.
That's what I had to do. So she said, no, just apply the proper way.
Correct,
So I
correct. So
applied merge sort.
you explained her or you wrote the
Yeah.
code?
Yeah, yes, sir.
No, I'm asking, did you write the code or did you just
Yeah, yes,
explain
sir.
her?
Yes,
So
sir, I
you
wrote that.
wrote whole merge sort code.
Yes, sir.
So that's actually very complicated.
Yes, sir. It took 20 minutes just to write the merge sort code.
So actually, I'll tell you, this is the reason why you got selected, is because rather than optimizing, you applied the most optimized algorithm, which
Yes, sir.
honestly, if it was asked in my college, when I was in college, I would have had been able to explain merge sort. I would have had been able to write the pseudocode maybe, but for me to then and then write merge sort no, demonstrates that okay, you are very good in coding. So merge
Yes,
sort
sir.
is, I think, quick sort and merge sort are the most difficult sorting algorithms.
Yes, sir. Then she asked me to like explain the code and explain the time complexity, and I explained her everything. Then
Actually,
she gave me again, second question was she gave me a string and asked me to find the permutation of the strings. Like if it is CAT, then I need to find TAC, TCA. It took me 5 to 10 minutes to think about the logic, but I couldn't come up with the proper logic. I told her that, ma'am, I can give you the permutation, like number of permutation of the string, but can't give you the permutation of strings. It's like cat. So we know the mathematical logic. Cat, it has 3 characters, so 3 factorial 6 string we can find. So I told her that I can find the number of permutation. She said, okay, do it that only. So I just made a factorial function and found the 3 factorial, and if any character is repeating, I divided that character in denominator. She was like satisfied with
so
that.
couldn't you apply recursion for it, step by step recursion?
Sir, I was not getting at that time.
Okay, maybe again, it's interview, everybody is
Yes,
nervous. Maybe
sir.
you know
Yes, sir.
now,
Yes, sir.
not an issue, right?
Yeah.
After that, did she ask you any further questions?
Uh, no, sir. Whatever she asked, like I told her, so she was pretty much impressed. And she asked some database question, like what Amazon uses database. And I read it one day before the interview, like Amazon uses Amazon Redshift and Aurora. I told her about these databases, what Amazon uses. So she was quite impressed with that.
So actually, that's very good that you are able to tell the exact technologies. It shows that you've done a
Yes,
research
sir.
about the company, or at least you
Yes,
know
sir.
the tools. So that's
Yes,
the
sir.
most important thing, right? Did she ask you anything about projects and everything?
Yes, sir, but only little bit. Like, what is your projects and explain me. So I explained, like nothing more discussion.
Okay, because again you are from ECE, so you would not have
Yes,
technical
sir.
projects. Because I
Yes, sir.
interviewed one person for who's from CS branch. Uh, he was asked a lot of questions about, again, he had done machine learning project. So he was asked a lot of
Yes,
questions
sir.
about machine learning, and he had done front end web development using React.
Yes, sir.
So again,
So machine learning was there in my CV also, but she didn't ask question. But the in second round, the interviewer asked me
okay,
about my machine learning skill.
let's talk about second round. Again, let's start from the beginning. We'll come to the machine learning part
Okay,
also.
sir.
So
Okay.
again, how long was the
So
second round? What was the duration?
second round also around 50 to 55 minutes.
Okay. And how did
After
it
round
start?
one, like
How did it start?
after round one, I got like link for the second round. Then I was happy, like I was selected for the round two. Then second day round two got started, and he started with my introduction and with the project what I have done. And he also like shared a link and told me to open that link and started asking me programming question. He didn't ask me any SQL queries, but he asked me 3 to 4 programming question. He gave me a matrix and I had to spirally traverse that matrix. And luckily, I did that question 3 to 4 days ago. So it took me around 10 minutes to write the code. He was very much satisfied with it.
Okay. That's a good question, standard question. Right.
Yes, sir.
What further? Did he ask you about DBMS and all also?
Yes, sir. He asked one question, data. What is data purging? And I read it one day before. Data purging is like removing data from data warehouse. So I explained him very well.
Okay. No
And 2 3
SQL
more.
queries?
No, sir, because they checked it in round one only, na. So he didn't ask me any SQL queries. He
Okay.
like asked
Hmm.
so 2 3 theory questions like difference between OLTP and OLAP, and he like saw that machine learning in my CV, so he asked me some machine learning
Just
question.
one
What is
second. What is OLTP and OLAP? Is it related to big data?
Yes, sir, it's related to data warehouse only.
Okay. But you are an EC student. How come he's assuming that you would know about big data?
Sir, actually, I wrote DBMS in my CV, so I think, and they work on these technologies, and I was selected for data engineering, so I expected these questions.
But because I am from CSE, I also did these data warehousing in my college. I don't remember these keywords. Okay, again, for all of you who are watching, again, you if you are getting interviewed for this role, again, you may be asked such questions from
Yes, sir.
warehousing as well. Right.
Yes, sir.
Let's come to machine learning. What were the questions that he asked you?
He first like told me to differentiate what is machine learning and artificial intelligence. And this is the first question I read it on internet. Difference between artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I explained him thoroughly. So he was like satisfied. Then he asked me about difference between unsupervised learning and supervised learning, and what is clustering and all. These only 2 3 questions.
Did he ask you anything about regression?
No, sir. I explained him regression. He didn't ask me. Like when he asked me about supervised learning, and explained in him regression, clustering, all these things comes under supervised, and unsupervised. Sorry, regression and classification comes under supervised, and in unsupervised clustering comes clustering association. These techniques.
Hmm. Got it. So again, what were the again a few other questions that you are missing that were asked in the second interview?
Mm, So he like asked me about difference between SQL and MySQL. It was too easy question. MySQL itself a relational database, and SQL is a query language.
Correct. So that's fine. So again, that's all you were asked in the in the first in the second interview as well,
Yeah,
right?
yes, sir.
How many people got selected finally?
4 got selected for data engineer role, and 7 to 8 people got selected for quality assurance. And no, sorry, 5 to 6 people got selected for quality assurance, and 8 to 9 people got selected for support engineer.
Okay, perfect.
So total 20 people maybe.
ठीक है, Sachin, it was again, I'm sure that all the other people who would be applying, you would have gotten to know some insights. Sachin would be working as a senior, let's say, if you are watching next year. So you can always reach out to him. It was very great and nice speaking to you, Sachin. Any advice that
Thank
you
you,
would
sir.
like to give to all of the people? Like what should you be doing?
Yes, sir. I would like advise some people like whatever you like write the code, just practice to explain that code and practice to like calculate the time complexity of the program. That's what the thing like I never did in my life. I never like tried to practice the to explain my code. That's where I was stucking in my interview round.
Hmm, hmm,
Was
hmm, hmm.
like this was too difficult to explain your own code that I never did.
So, ठीक है. So again, all the guys who are sitting for Amazon, first thing that you need to find out there is if you are applying for a software engineering role. In that case, the exam may happen on AMCAT or
Yes, sir.
HackerRank. The
Yes,
again 50-50% both of these platforms are used. Again, in most of the
yes, sir.
cases, there are two coding questions. That's it. In HackerRank, there are two coding questions plus some additional MCQ questions. However, for these
Yes, sir.
three
Yes, sir.
roles, the exam happens on metal, and then there are
Yes,
seven
sir.
different sections, six of which we've talked about. And I think there's one section that, if we are able to find out, we'll tell you as a pop-up in this video.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all of you for joining. We'll see you up ahead in the next one.